Have you asked yourself, why are there so many NPCs in this human experience? Why is it that those of us with souls are having to live our lives with all of these people who are not playing in the same game that we are? They're actually here just to distract us. When you start to unplug from the love and light spiritual side of things and ground yourself in more truth of what this human experience is actually about, there's a lot of shadow. There's a lot of shadow within us, and there's a lot of shadow outside of us. And if you're one of those who believe that we are in a simulation and that our consciousness, our belief system projects our reality and we experience what's going on inside of us, then wouldn't you agree with me that the evil cabal or the reptilian race, whatever you want to call it, is actually our collective shadow? I absolutely love to play in the shadows. I am a shadow worker through and through. I actually wrote a book called The Shadow Work Bible. Doing shadow work has saved me. Anyone who is here with a soul who is actually interested in ascending right now in this time has to do shadow work. And because we are in a simulation, the more of us that do that, the more of us that clear out all of the debris and junk that's laying stagnant inside our energetic body. So then that decalcifies our pineal gland. And if we have a decalcified pineal gland, then we get to accept that our life is exactly what we make it. If you had a lot of unresolved trauma in your body, then you are going to see and experience a lot of chaos, because our nervous system is actually the control panel for our whole human experience. The pineal gland is part of our nervous system. So what I'm learning through my own internal research and my own experiences, because of how much I care for myself, that whenever I am actively decalcifying my pineal gland while also doing physical shadow work on my nervous system and my body, I am experiencing a more harmonious life. I would say more than other people. And it's not by bypassing anything that I experienced or actually what is going on in the world. But the reason why we are in a great reset and why we know that there are two roads, people are going this way and some people are going that way, it's not just the NPCs. And actually, let's circle back to that. Why are there so many NPCs? And here's why, I think. Because like I said, it's a war on your nervous system and your pineal gland, which makes us partially reptilian, partially human. We're all hybrids. We were all once with souls. There were no NPCs. But the more the reptilian race began to conform more people into their way of life so that they could control them, the more people stopped playing, because they don't have this anymore. Now, this is actually raising more questions within me. Can NPCs come back online? Or once you've decalcified your pineal gland so much, it's completely destroyed, which is exactly what the jab did. The whole purpose of the reptilian agenda is to have a slave planet, for them to work for them, because even NPCs make the reptilian race money. And so in actuality, when you think about it, the reptilians are actually trying to completely devolve the human race and extinguish us from their world. And we are capable of separating from that world just through keeping this decalcified, keeping our nervous system calm, controlled, regulated. So in this great reset, in this great divide that we are in, you actually have to choose. You cannot straddle the fence anymore. You have to decide, I'm going fully this way, or I'm going to stay this way because it's comfortable. You will eventually become an NPC. You will be so calcified that you can no longer turn on your consciousness. So this is actually how they're creating transhumanism. They're making us think it's through robots and nanotechnology and stuff, but it's actually through the calcification of the pineal gland. You know who has a very open pineal gland? A third eye, which is how they harvest energy. That's the reptilian race. And with a fully functioning pineal gland, that's how we astral travel. That's how we multidimensional travel. That's how we time travel. If you are someone who says, you know what, I remember when I was a child and I had gifts and I no longer have them, how do I activate those again? You have to purify your body. You can no longer consume their food. You can't wear their fragrances. You can't use their toxic house cleaning chemical. You can't listen to their music. You can't watch their shows. You can't see their white coats. You can't see their dentists. You cannot participate in academia in any way. You can't drive their cars. You can't live in their cities. Yeah, it is that deep. And if you don't think it is, you will become a non-player character. Do you know what that does to your bloodline? Not your nuclear family bloodline, your bloodline that connects you to the OG humans. But remember, awakened ones, you came here for exactly this. I'm ready. I'm growing my own food. I'm actually preparing my land so that if we had to never leave, that would be absolutely possible. And the people who are going to be up here, they're supposed to be here. I'm so incredibly excited for this, and I know it seems scary to a lot of people because you are still on the fence about what you're going to do and how you're going to participate and how you're going to make it work, and you want to leave, but you don't know how because you have a job and you can't leave your job. That's exactly the way they want you. They want you stunted because then they keep dangling the low-hanging fruit and you're going to keep taking it because in your mind, in your calcified pineal gland, you cannot imagine life without a consistent check coming to you. Let me tell you one thing about someone who's been living in her purpose for over 7 years. You can live in your purpose very successfully and still not have the money to pay your mortgage on time because currency is a flow. And whenever you're in your flow state and your purpose, that's how it goes. It comes in, it goes out. And we're not supposed to be hoarding money. We're not supposed to be keeping it in a stagnant savings account. We're not supposed to be keeping it in 401ks or retirements. Anything that does not flow, your money is harvesting your energy. It comes in, it goes out. It's called a currency, y'all. Pay attention. All of the information is right in front of us. You just want to have to see it. You have to decalcify this. And you have to regulate your nervous system.